Hello. Hi.
Hi. I know we're not really meant to be talking to each other.
I heard a voice confess.
I heard someone who was in love with me.
And at the time I thought it was quite funny, but also, you know, very brave.
It's very mysterious.
I hope he texts her.
They were being very vulnerable.
It's funny, and it's a little window into someone else's life. It's really lovely.
So we've been doing community work since about 2006. This will be our 7th production. This year we're creating a production called Rise. This is probably going to be the biggest production we've ever created. There's lots of different elements to it.
Community work is really key to the Old Vic. Digital was an exciting way to make it more accessible.
So the Old Vic approached Flying Object and asked whether we could help bring together interesting people who could input into this process. So some digital people, theatre people, and some people from the community company itself. At the moment we're at a workshop, so all these people have come together.
3 really different worlds and 3 different perspectives kind of towards the same thing. You actually do come out with something much richer.
What we realised today is the fact that actually we all have ideas about digital. We all think about it. We all can find ways to use it.
One of the key things that came out of the workshop was an idea of connectedness. Can we use this project to try and connect people in London in a new way? So what we're going to do is build phone booths, 3 phone booths around the theatre that will ring periodically, and people passing by will be able to answer the phone, and when they do, they're going to hear a message from someone else in London. We're going to have to bring some people together to help us. We'll need some audio specialists, some technical specialists, some developers, and someone to help us design and build the phone booths themselves.
We went into the Old Vic workrooms to do a workshop with members of the community cast. We asked the cast members to leave genuine voicemails to people they knew. There were 3 categories of calls they could make: confession, unexpressed thought, or the expression of gratitude to somebody in their community. The kind of calls that we got were genuinely diverse, from light-hearted through to some very serious confessions. There were a lot of very emotional calls.
So this is the contents of the phone unit that we're using. So everything that runs it is inside this box. The main component is the Raspberry Pi, which is our mini computer, which is doing all the work. It's deciding when to ring the phone and then playing the messages out to people. At some point during the day, it'll fire off a ring signal, and that uses these audio boards to make this speaker ring. And that will attract someone's attention, and they can come and then pick up the handset. And when they do, they'll trigger this switch. The audio file gets routed through the normal handset just out of the audio output of the computer.
The question which needed to be resolved was what the booths were going to look like. I think the key driver of the design is this idea of communication and how to communicate to the potential users. First of all, the fact that this is an object to be interacted with and used, but it also needs to have this slightly parallel universe kind of quality where it sort of communicates that something very out of the ordinary is going on. It's part of this same kind of universe as the play. You can look at the city as being made up of things like phone boxes, which are underlying this like huge functioning kind of engine in which the parts are people. But there's also a recording inside it, which is this personal, like intimate moment which is going on. It's a story, and the project is bringing those 2 things together into the same place.
I think it does inspire a sense of community. I think people being aware that everyone else has a story of their own makes you think about that a bit more and your actions in that context.
The play is obviously about community values and about actual community, and the cast is a community cast. And one of the things which is clear through the play is that sometimes people don't really behave like they are a community, and they withhold secrets from each other. London Calling is partly designed with that in mind, and asking the question, what if we did tell people what we were thinking? What effect would that have on community?
So tonight is the first preview of the play. You can hear some of that going on behind me, and so audiences will be coming here for the first time, and while they're waiting, Hopefully they will experience London Calling for the first time as well. What we try to create is an experience that gives people an insight into someone else in London and a moment in which they can sort of maybe imagine themselves in that other person's life. Having the Old Vic and Bloomberg on site to make that happen was kind of invaluable. They've created an environment where we can experiment and try something out.
It's really exciting to see it come to life and also to see the public interact with it. London Calling isn't what you would expect of a digital project, but I think that's what's exciting about it. It's really taking the themes of Rise and what the community company were exploring and bringing out further and trying to bring that to a wider audience.
I just wanted to say thank you, and I know this is really off, but you